Hey there, it's Sheryl. You know, I am incredibly excited to be here with Leroy Dixon, two-time Olympian. You know what I'm trying to say. You know, when we do lives, anything can happen. So two-time Olympian, and Leroy has won a gold, silver, and bronze medal, which is incredible. And you know, a lot of people have the misconception that people are just dropped here on this earth as Olympic performers or as world class in either in athletics or in business. But you know what? Leroy has a different story and an incredibly important message for you all to hear. So, Leroy, why don't you share your story with us real quick?
Well, I grew up in South Bend, Indiana, small town where University of Notre Dame is at. And so dreaming big is not really a big thing there. So it's like you work, take care of your family. You probably go to the college around in Indiana. So, you know, to dream big is very, it's scary for everyone. So when you do talk about your big dreams, people kind of get afraid and they'll say good luck with that, or they don't really support it.
So I don't mean to interrupt. So are people a little bit small-minded?
Yeah, I would say they're a little behind time. You know, I don't think that they're keeping up with what people are achieving in today's society, like, because I just don't think they can see it often. They're not exposed to it. So,
yeah. So now why don't you share with us your story? I think is important for a lot of people because, like I was mentioning, there's a huge misconception that maybe you were just dropped on this planet as a small young person, as an amazing track star, but that's not really the case, was it?
No, absolutely not. I was actually, as a kid, you know, I was really small. Like, I was not a big guy. You know, I was very small and skinny. So, me going to be this big athlete was not part of the plan. It was just more just to make my dad proud and to make my family proud and have them something, give them something to go to see me in events and give them something to be proud of. My sisters, my older sisters, it gave everyone something to give them confidence and give them something to bring the family together. It was like a family reunion when everyone came and see me. So when I was younger, no, absolutely not. That was not the case. I was not the best runner.
So were you a talented athlete as a very young person?
No, I was not a talented athlete as a very young person. I was just like any other kid that's just trying to start off where you hear the parents say, well, my son's not really fast or he doesn't have that much athletic ability, but I like that he's in sports. I was that kid. I was that kid. My dad wanted me to be something that was like this great athlete, but I just wasn't at the time. It's just, I wish that I can say that I was, but I just wasn't.
Okay, so what message do you have for people where they're training for an athletic event or in business, or what message do you have for people that don't think, well, I'm not good enough, or maybe that's for other people?
Well, first you would have to define what does good enough mean. Like, whatever is good enough is it's their own reality. That's their truth of what they think good enough is. But I think because the world doesn't show you that good enough is basically in every one of us. So it's not a thing about good enough. It's more about being living in truth instead of living in what looks like the truth. Living in the truth, not your own truth that you coming up with, not what people are but your truth. Sorry. Yeah, so it's but your truth. And how you find your truth is to get out there and really just kind of do what you're the most afraid of. The one thing that you're afraid of, because at the end of the day you can always just go back to do what you were doing, but step out and really step into your fear and embrace it and see what's on the other side of it.
And do you think it's important to dream big?
I think to say to dream big, it's one thing because it's always dream killers. So I think for me, my philosophy is to protect your dreams. You don't have to really speak them, just walk in them. And then everyone else will get involved with that. So if you want to dream big within yourself. You don't have to tell people, this is my dream. You more can just, and some you can tell people this is my dream, but you don't really have to prove that to anyone. You just have to just walk and be and exist in it.
So what I'm hearing, this is something that I say over and over again when I coach people, but people are really only limited by what they think is possible. I mean, How do you feel about that?
Well, yeah, they are limited by we are limited by what we think is possible because we see in life through a keyhole, right? So it's like, it's more, just connect to your why and your reason and after you connect to your why and your reason, then let the universe, or whatever it is you believe in, come in and bring that thing that's supposed, that what it takes to accomplish that thing for you. Let it come in. Let that do it for you. Don't you try to go out and try to grab tangibly whatever it is that you want to achieve. Let that come get inside of you.
Yeah.
But just understand the why and the reason you're doing it.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate how incredibly important that is. Once you can connect your why to whatever it is that's important to you, then the sky's the limit. I mean, we are really limitless. And so can you just describe real briefly when you were talking to me earlier before we got on live, and hey, Carla's in the house. Hey, Carla. You were talking about how we're not physical beings. Can you explain a little bit of that? Because at first I'm like, okay, that sounds a little weird. But as you were talking, I'm like, that makes 100% sense. And I think it's something that we all need to know, not just if you're an Olympian.
All right. Well, so I think the thing is, we're all just, the same in a sense, internally. We all have feelings, we all have emotions, we all have fears, doubts, all that. We all have it. No matter it's from the number one athlete or the CEO in the world, Warren Buffett, whoever it is. They all have fears and have insecurities. We all have that. So they're going through the same thing. They don't have some special power that where they're able to overcome some
You
stuff.
don't have You're human?
I'm human.
Okay. All right. I want you to keep elaborating.
So it's like, people got to understand that it's all about getting in alignment with whatever that reason and that why is. You have to get in alignment with what that is that you want to achieve. And after you get in alignment with it, then that being can start taking over you. But if you're trying to go out and do it yourself, it's like life happens, like things happen, like family, people die, everything happens. So that can take you off the track of whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. So it's not really, to achieve something great is not a physical thing. That's a spiritual act that you have to create.
Say that again. That's really important.
Yeah, to achieve something great, it's a spiritual act. It's not a physical act. So it's not something physically you can do. To execute the big moment is a spiritual act. It's going to take a lot of trust. It's going to take a lot of belief. And belief is the number one thing that creates that will get you to the big moment. But once you get to the big moment, you just got to kind of get out of your own way and allow it to just kind of take over you, because it's not a physical act. Again.
So, I want to reiterate what Leroy just said, is that when you get to that important moment, you need to let it take over you. All of that preparation, it's built in trust. And Leroy, you have said some incredibly important and powerful things. Now let me ask you another question. Last question I'm going to ask. Actually, I think I have two more. But one is, in order to do what you're talking about, do you have to be an Olympian?
So do you have to be an Olympian to achieve?
You're talking about how you're going to prepare. I mean, let me rephrase that question. Sorry about that. We all have things that are important to us that are maybe our Olympics. So do you have to truly be an Olympian? I mean, you are a 2-time Olympian with 3 medals. Sorry about that, guys. Do you have to be an Olympian in order to do what you're saying? Are our dreams any less important? And can we execute some of the things that you're talking about?
Anyone can execute it. Like I said before in the beginning, we're human beings. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. And we not necessarily be the fastest man in the world, but whatever it is, it's again, being an Olympian is a spirit. It's not a spiritual thing. It's not just some physical thing, like I'm just this physical being that's just, it's not that.
Yeah, and Carla's in the house, and she was just saying, align your soul's mission, and that is directly a popular person. I'm usually not very popular, but it is so important to figure out your why, and what Leroy is saying is that we don't all need to be Olympic athletes in order to dream, plan, and achieve our best. Now, can you leave us with a couple things that we can do, like 1 or 2 takeaways for us normal people that, okay, I don't know if I mentioned, but this is the 7th fastest man in the world, just saying. but
that's ever been recorded.
That's ever been recorded. So there might be some faster guys out there, but we don't know about them. But anyways, do you have any advice for us, or one or two things that we can do, us folks that are trying to be world class at what's important to us? What's one or two things that we can do to be amazing at what's important to us?
Is detach from the thing. And when I say detach from the thing, whatever the thing is, it's detached from whatever that big thing that you want to achieve. Whatever your Olympics is in life, detach from that. And like I said, go back to connecting to your why and your reason. You have to connect to that. And then the byproduct is that comes with that is achieving and executing a big moment. Money, cars, house, everything. All that comes with, it's a byproduct of connecting to the why and the reason you're doing everything.
Okay, and I want you to give a shout out to Jackson. That's Carla's son. Give a shout out to him. Say hello, because that guy busts his butt and works at it. So I want you to give him a shout and tell him that anything's possible.
Jackson, what's happening, man? Anything is possible. Not when I say anything, I'm saying anything is possible. Not just in the Adidas. Anything is possible. It's like, it's more. When I say anything, I'm saying whatever you want to achieve. Whatever you want to achieve, you have to choose.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You have to figure out, why am I doing this? And then after you figure out the why, let that dream come to you. The dream will come. You just got to figure out your why.
All right. Well, there you have it from Leroy Dixon, 2-time Olympic medalist, bronze, silver, and gold. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us, sharing a few tips, tools, and habits on how we can be world class at what's important to us. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to following you and seeing how you continue to change the world. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for joining. Bye, guys. Bye, Jackson.